We're going to have to get used to endless recitations about the energy crisis, and crisis it is. But as with so much about government, the whole scene is dripping with hypocrisy. The hypocrites, a tough word but true, won't come on this program because the questions are too tough. Here we are being warned every day that we are in an emergency, which we are. You've heard me for years arguing that if we demonise coal-fired power, we are signing a national economic suicide note. Yet the Adam Bants of this world are today silent. They want fossil fuels abolished by 2030. They're hypocrites, though, that we don't need to worry about because they're not in a decision-making role, thank goodness. But the man who many say should be in the Greens, the New South Wales Treasurer Matt Kean, called an emergency press conference last night, asking us all to minimise non-critical electricity usage. And then this, quote, "This is a result of a number of our coal-fired power stations not working when we need them to." He said, "We need to make sure that our coal-fired power stations are working when we need them to." He said it twice. This is the bloke, number one hypocrite, who rammed an energy bill through the New South Wales Parliament in 2020, and New South Wales are the biggest consumers, individuals and businesses, of electricity in the country. He rammed an energy bill through the Parliament, no scrutiny in the coalition party room, they just followed one another like sheep, no business case, no modelling, and it imposes a statutory commitment in New South Wales for 100% renewables. At the time, the state was sweltering. Coal kept everyone going. Now, knowing that he's being exposed because he doesn't have renewable energy, he doesn't have storage, he doesn't have transmission lines. So he says, we need to make sure that our coal-fired power stations are working when we need them to, unquote. I honestly don't know how people get away with this hypocrisy. Yet here was Matt Kean in 2020 promising to change the entire electricity system without a business case and without modelling. And if sufficient renewables were available, which they're not, the New South Wales government would have to find storage, transmission to the grid, and meet the promise that Mr Kean's new energy policy was about cheaper energy. This is dangerous fantasy. As I've said many times, we export $70 billion worth of coal, but politicians are too gutless to use it for our cheap energy. And now the New South Wales Treasurer has been found out. His cover has been blown. And the crisis we face, he says, is the result of a number of our coal-fired power stations not working when we need them, unquote. Why aren't they working? They require maintenance. Why would a sensible board direct expenditure on maintenance when government, state and federal, have openly said they want to close down coal-fired power stations? How that satisfies export obligations, I suppose they'll worry about later.